In this presentation, I will comment about American values, and I have chosen to talk about business. I chose to talk about the founder of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, and how he has changed his life from being poor to being one of the richest people in the world. And my view and intro, as you can say, is I will look into that Howard Schultz is a prime example that you can change your economic status through business and hard work. So what will I talk about? I will start by talking about his desire to change his lifestyle and how he has became one of the highest paying CEOs in the world. I think it was $9,200 per hour he's getting at the moment. And then I will talk about the Starbucks dream, how he has the vision and dream to change a normal coffee brand into something big that we have worldwide. And then the last thing I will talk about is the Schultz Family Foundation. It's about helping and giving back to the people that doesn't have it. What can you say? Doesn't do well in the economic status at the moment. So a desire to change of lifestyle. So if I read this up from the text that found on page 127, line 8, I think that will tell a lot about Howard Schultz and how he runs his business and everything. One aspect of the great American dream is rise from poverty or modest wealth to great wealth in the United States. This has usually been accomplished through successful business careers. So if we talk about this to start with, he had changed his lifestyle. He started being poor and didn't have the wealthiest family, and over time he had changed that through Starbucks. So I read some. So I will what can I say? Tell you something about his journey. So in 1981, he had this vision on a different working environment with more human connection. So in 1983, he made his own coffee called Nail, I think it was called, and that just showcased his willingness to take risk in life. So in 1987, he decided to go back to Starbucks and try to say, okay, I know how we can do this and how we can change it and go worldwide and earn a lot of money. So when he went back, he had this talk with them, and they decided to give him a chance. And then his focus on human connection extended beyond profit because people loved the what can you say? The different work environment, that you felt more welcome getting a coffee instead of just going and say one large coffee and then go out. That is also why every Starbucks in the world looks the same but has a little bit of twist. So you feel like it's belong in that country instead of you just have an American Starbucks everywhere in the world. And because he earned so much they earned so much profit, they could start giving back to the employees and give them benefits. And then afterwards, he as I said before, he became one of the highest paying CEOs in the world. So he has changed his life from being in a poor family to one of the richest in the world. So when we talk about the Starbucks dream, Howard Schultz had two visions on it. He had about the employees and the customers. So I think this this part of the text matches extremely well with his vision on Starbucks. On page 131, line 21. In the first century, in addition to watching CEOs send the good paying jobs overseas, Americans were hit by an economic recession. Most of wealth held by the middle class was in the homes they owned. So you can talk about him sending Starbucks overseas, so everyone gets it, and the middle class will get more money because they can have the opportunity to work there and pay off their debt in their house, and then make the middle class get a little bit more wealthy. So if we talk about the Starbucks dream, if we start by talking about the employees, he had this vision on including human connection and community and employee well-being. So he gave them what is called he helped them pay off their health insurance in the start with if they kept on working there, and he tried to give them all the benefits and keep them longer part of the family, if you can say that. And his aim is aim is having this welcoming space for connection and offering benefits like as talked about before, health insurance and stock options. Despite ongoing challenges, Schultz's efforts to align Starbucks with these values showcase a commitment to realizing these dreams, setting Starbucks apart from the typical coffee chains. And then if we talk about the other Starbucks dream about the store and what his vision was about the brand, is that he would extend it globally. So Starbucks maintaining this consistency across different countries, regardless the location. Customers can always expect the same high quality coffee everywhere in the world, so they don't have to be like, is there something different about this coffee? And this global presence reflects Starbucks' mission to create a familiar third place for people worldwide. I think that was everything to talk about here about the Starbucks dream. And as I talk about that the Starbucks has gone overseas, as we can see here on the left, we have Denmark, that we can see inside Starbucks, and on the right we can see Rochester, USA, the interior of the Starbucks. We can see they have this similar white vibe they've tried to do, as I said, so you feel like it's the same store you walk into everywhere in the world, but still has this luxury feeling over it. We can also see here in the US, they don't have this, if we could say that something they don't have in common is that on the left it looks more like a restaurant in Denmark, a place where you go in and relax, and on the right in USA it looks like more like a fast food place where you just go in, grab your coffee and go again. But both places you still get that customer support, so you will talk to them and feel like, okay, you gave love to my, or how you can say it, you made my coffee with love and not just in a machine. And the last slide about the Schultz Family Foundation, I will talk about what it is and how he has decided to not being this greedy top 1% of America. So if we look at page 133, line 26, I found this text example called where it says, Americans' respect for the business institutions rises and falls in cycles. Going back to the Industrial Revolution of the 1800s, at times, business leaders are seen as greedy and corrupt villains. At other times, they were hailed as heroes. This is not the first time that Americans have questioned the motive of the business leaders. And if we talk about Howard Schultz, he has been seen as this corrupt villain, but also a lot of times hailed as a hero. The only reason why he was seen as this corrupt villain is because he decided to give him this extremely high hourly wage on $9,200 per hour. But he has also made this foundation called the Schultz Family Foundation, where it gives back to people in need, people with mental health and youth development, and just giving people the chance to get a job again and come back in the cycle of earning money. So the primary focus is addressing social challenges through innovative solutions and partnerships. The foundation supports initiatives aimed at improving the lives of vulnerable populations, including veterans, youth, and refugees. The key areas they focus on is mental health awareness, I think it's called, support, youth development and employment opportunities, and refugees integration. And they do that through strategic investments and collaboration with other organizations that can help with giving the chance to come back in the what's it called to say. They will be coming back in being the rat in the wheel, just running around trying to catch the cheese, which here in this case is the money. So you can say they're just trying to put them back in the system instead of just having them wander around and not doing anything and just taking money from the state instead. and they do this. But this what can you say? This foundation was created with a positive and lasting impact in communities, both domestically and internationally.